This tutorial explains how to append several pandas data frames vertically in the Python programming language. So without too much talk, let's dive into the Python code. In the first part of this tutorial, I will show you how to append two pandas data frames on top of each other. And for this, we first need to create two example data frames, as you can see in lines 2 to 14 of the code. So in line 2 of the code, I'm first importing the pandas library. And then in lines 4 to 7 of the code, I'm creating our first pandas data frame. So if you run these lines of code, you can see at the top right that a new data set is appearing, which is called data1. And we can print this data frame to the console by running line 8 of the code. And then you can see at the bottom right that our first data frame contains 7 rows and 4 columns, which are called x1, x2, x3, and x4. In lines 10 to 13 of the code, we are creating another pandas data frame. So if you run these lines of code, you can see at the top right that another data frame is appearing, and we can print this data frame to the bottom right by running line 14 of the code. And then you can see that our second data frame also consists of 7 rows and 4 columns. The column names of these columns are the same as in the first data frame. However, the values in this data frame are different compared to the first data frame. Now, let's assume that we want to append these two data frames vertically. Then we can apply the append function, as you can see in lines 16 and 17 of the code. So in front of the append function, we need to specify the name of the first data frame. And then within the append function, we need to specify the name of the second data frame. So in this case, data2. And in this case, I'm also specifying the ignore index argument to be equal to true, because I don't want to keep the index of the original data frames. So if you run lines 16 and 17 of the code, you can see at the top right that another data set is appearing, which is called data_all1. And we can print this data set to the bottom right by running line 18 of the code. And then you can see that we have created a new data frame, which contains all the data of our two input data frames, data1 and data2, stacked on top of each other. So in this first example, I have explained how to use the append function to append our data frames vertically. However, it's also possible to use the concat function for this task, as you can see in lines 20 to 22 of the code. So within the concat function, we need to specify the names of our two data frames, data1 and data2. Once again, I'm specifying the ignore index argument to be equal to true. And in this case, I'm also using the sort argument, and I'm specifying this argument to be equal to false. So if you run lines 20 to 22 of the code, you can see that another data set is appearing at the top right, and we can print this new data set to the bottom right. And then you can see that we have created the same output as in the previous example. However, this time we have used the concat function instead of the append function. So in the first two examples, I have explained how to append two data frames. However, it's also possible to append more than two data frames, and this is what I want to show you in the next example, starting in line 25 of the code. So in the first step of this example, I'm creating another data set, as you can see in lines 25 to 28. So if you run these lines of code, you can see at the top right of our studio that a new data frame is appearing, which is called data3. And we can print this data set to the bottom right by using line 29 of the code. And then you can see that we have created another data frame. This time this data frame contains only 3 rows, but the column names of this third data frame are the same as in the previously created data frames. So in the next step, I'm once again using the concat function to concatenate our data frames. However, this time I'm specifying even 3 data frames within the concat function. So if you run lines 31 to 33 of the code, another data frame is appearing at the top right, which is called data_all3. And if we print this data set to the bottom right, you can see that we have appended 3 data frames into one single data set. So at the first part of this combined data frame, you can see the data frame data1. In the second part, you can see the values of the data frame data2, and at the bottom, you can see the values of the data frame data3. So until now, I have shown you how to append data frames with the same column names. However, it's also possible to append data frames with different column names. This is what I want to show you in the next example, starting in line 36. So for this, we first need to create another data frame which contains different column names, and we can do that, as you can see, in lines 36 to 38 of the code. So if you run these lines of code, you can see at the top right of RStudio that another data set is appearing, which is called data4. And we can print this data frame to the bottom right by running line 39. And then you can see that we have created a data frame containing only 3 columns. And this time these columns are called x1, x3, and x5. So let's assume that we want to append this data frame to the bottom of the data frame data1. Then we can apply once again the concat function, as you can see in lines 41 to 43 of the code. So if you run these lines of code, you can see at the top right that another data set is appearing, which is called data_all4. And we can print this data frame to the bottom right by running line 44 of the code. And then you can see that we have created a new data frame. And you can also see that this data frame contains NaN values at some positions of the data frame. And the reason for that is that our second data frame that we have appended did contain other column names as our first data frame. And for that reason, only some columns contain values in all data cells. However, the columns that did only consist in the first data frame, x2 and x4, have been set to NaN in the rows of the second data frame, and the column x5 that only existed in the second data frame was set to NaN in the first data frame. That's all I wanted to explain in this video. In case you want to learn more on this topic, you may check out my homepage, statisticsglobe.com, because on my homepage I have recently published a tutorial in which I'm explaining the content of this video in some more detail. I will put a link to this tutorial into the description of the video, so you can find it there. If you have liked this video or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. I'll try to respond to all comments as soon as I can. Furthermore, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified about future video releases. I have already published about 500 videos on this channel, and I'm releasing new videos on a daily basis. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.